What's up, team? Welcome back to the huddle. We're your weekly playbook where we not only strategize on playing the game, but changing it. From mastering the fundamentals of the craft to distinguishing ourselves in the marketplace, we're here to give you, the installer, a voice and ensure you're equipped with everything you need. So band together with us. Let's start a new legacy in flooring. This is where you belong. Welcome to the team. Speaking of team, we're a little shy on the teams today. It's Mr. Jose Lake Gonzalez and Paul Stewart with you
Bam.
here. And
I'm the reason why we're logging in late. My bad.
well, this episode uh, kind of relies on more than one person, so I'm not gonna lie. I was like, well, we may have to postpone. Be the first time we've done that in a long, long time. But so who's with us today? Chat us up. Let us know who's out there. Unfortunately, Mr. Daniel Gonzalez of Preferred Flooring is not able to join us, but it's for a good reason. He's out in the field running and gunning and trying to get the client taken care of. What's up, peeps? What's up, Jorge? Hey, Kevin, what's going on, man?
What's going on,
Kevin
gentlemen?
is with Roberts and I would imagine preparing to go muskie fishing here pretty soon. I just got back from a trip last week from Canada doing some pike fishing. It was pretty fantastic. And muskie and pike are in the same family. I don't know. Do you know that, Kevin? I was taught that one has six sensors and one has four or something like that on their face.
Hmm.
Speaking of face, there's a little pie on some people's face today. We're going to be looking at some DIY
Yeah.
uh, fails. This makes me smile. I want to be clear. We're not just here to poop on or crap on the DIYers out there, but we're going to show some videos and just kind of chat about them. At the end of the day, it's all for fun, but at the same time, if you are a DIY out there and you're curious on how to do things right, uh, watch this podcast.
I
Kevin
don't know if
says
it's
he's getting ready to go judge the Midwest regional competition. That's where the
yeah.
pros are at right now.
Yeah, that's the
The
one
head
over in
honchos
Illinois,
in our
right?
industry. Where's that at?
I think it's in Illinois. I don't know
Oh, is
exactly
it?
where. Yeah, but I do know that our friend Jeremy Glover was supposed to go there, but just recently had a accident in a softball tournament, so he will no longer be able to compete at the
Compete?
regionals.
Ah, what do you do?
Uh,
You know?
took a ball to the face.
Oh, crud. Are
Like
you
straight line drive.
third
Not
baseman
this.
or
Oh no, he was just
is
coaching the base, but I told him not to tell anybody that. Told him you got to have a cool story behind that, bro. You can't just get hit in the face and get bones broken and say
come up with
I was
something?
just not paying attention.
Oh, well, I took a line drive to the shin once when I played on the construction league of softball, and then everybody started making fun of me because I started wearing soccer shin pads to play
Dude,
because I was a third baseman, man. One line drive to the shin, and I had enough.
yeah, I
And I
mean,
didn't grow up playing baseball or anything like that. I could throw the ball, hit the ball, but pretty construction league level player here.
yeah. So just a wreck ball player, man. Just that's it. Just wreck.
Yeah.
That's it's fun until you get hit with the ball.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
So
never did mind. I was stupid though
I thought a good play. You were stupid for what?
because I wasn't scared of the ball. But then
Oh,
again, I wore a mask and a helmet. So yeah,
you were a catcher
Jeremy.
or what?
No, I was a pitcher for slow
Oh,
pitch, and yeah,
okay.
I got geared up. I wore lacrosse shin guards. I wore both
Okay.
pads on
You're
the
a
inside
man.
of my knees.
You're a man after my own soul then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wore a mask and then a full helmet. It, yeah, it was good times.
All right. Well, power to the pros out there in softball and in flooring. We're going to watch a few DIY videos I'm going to share and we'll just comment. Now, let me set this up. We can pick apart everything, but I also would like to see if we can pick out some things they did right or that we can appreciate.
Yeah.
So we'll start with this first one. Uh, Here's how easy it is to install your own flooring.
Here's how easy it is
Okay,
for you to install flooring all by yourself in your own home.
that's clever.
Hey, I'm
Although,
Alex. I'm a DIYer, and my mother-in-law and I are teaching my friends how to renovate their basement themselves. As you can see, we've come a long way, and today we're teaching them and you how easy it is to install hewn flooring in your own home. The first thing you need to know is that no wall in your house is ever straight, so the first thing you got to do is snap a straight line down the center of your room, and
Look
you're
at
going to
that.
use this as a reference and
well,
use these spacers along with some shims to make sure that that first row lines up
all
exactly with
right.
that
So
line. Now, if you don't
he's
do this and your first
trying to
row
square
isn't
it up
straight,
at
every
least.
single piece of flooring you lay will slowly get more crooked. And once you have that down, here's how easy it is to install hewn flooring. I mean, just right here, you can see how it just goes together like a puzzle piece. They're also really easy to cut. You just need to squirt with your knife, and then don't do this. Just and snap. Like I said, super easy. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the hard cuts? And this part doesn't need to scare you. It's really simple. Just use a jigsaw. Even Sophie
Ooh.
can do this. She's never done this before, and look at that cut. Now, once you hit the open field, you're gonna get on a roll, and you're gonna feel like nothing can stop you. And even these little cuts that annoyed you before are just gonna become trivial. Honestly, I think my favorite thing about flooring is you don't need a ton of tools to pull this off. Here I am using the multi-tool to make this cut. You can honestly use whatever floats your boat, but just crank it out, and eventually you're gonna
Float
get
your
to
boat.
these last pieces, which you might have to do a little sliver cut, but that's no big deal. Because once you finish it off, let me tell you, you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world, and you just completely transform your room. I mean, look at where we started, and look at where we are now. This space
All right. So flooring, man.
was a disaster 3 months ago, and
One thing about flooring is it makes a huge difference in your house. There's no doubt about it.
It doesn't matter where you are, your home, your office.
Yeah.
Like you
I
get all the
low
credit
key, dude.
for
You
all the
know what
finishes.
in all the videos watching it, I couldn't help but think, I wish my installers were this happy putting this stuff in. Every person, and I know it's a video, but every person's like, "Hey, look how easy this is," and they're putting stuff together. Of course, uh, you know, a lot of rookie kind of mistakes. Sure, like you know,
Like just
you
going,
end up with the sliver because you didn't do anything to lay out.
yeah.
There's, you know what I mean? So, you
There's
can
a
avoid those.
couple red flags in there, that's for sure. Just like
Yeah.
how you gonna hurt your body ripping the carpet up like that? Cut through it.
Y-
The layout. At least he did say snap a line because nothing's straight. He did say
Yep.
that. Um,
Yep.
uh,
I thought that was good.
uh,
He at least made a true statement. No wall in your house is going to be straight. That's usually pretty true. You know,
I
even new
I just
homes.
I don't want to bash him too bad on there, right?
No,
But
just
like it's just a little bit more to it than that. Everyone, it's just the wood floor. Like I didn't see them cleaning it. Like, but it's a video, right? So they might skip that part. Um, I would have been looking at all that paint and all the joints and
well,
like
there's the key with all this DIY is there's no one to hold responsible. So it's easy to skip steps and boy, you have those same people pay somebody to do it and they are, you know what I mean? Like, hey, why aren't you patching that little crack or
yeah,
whatever? Now this was a floating floor with a cork back, looks somewhat similar, not to say it is Shaw's Core-Tec. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying something similar to that. But like Roland said, he'll wait for the inspection to come his way. There's been a few times I've had customers like general contractors who actually kind of have some construction knowledge, they'll install their own flooring. And I had one, I don't know, it's been a couple of years back, but he had major problems with it. It was only because he was a GC that the store ended up replacing it for him, but he had bought the materials from a store and installed it himself, and it completely failed. Some of it's due to stuff like that. So that one, that one was pretty funny. I'm gonna play.
He was really happy though. You're absolutely right. Like
look how much fun they were having. Oh, one more thing, just super quick. If you're gonna glue down your floor, that was a floating floor. I'm not sure. Roland might be able to actually answer this, but paint, marker, these kinds of things on the floor, even on a wood floor, I found out, can bleed through your vinyl products. Now that's a little bit different with the floating SPC, but if you were gluing down a vinyl and you have, markers or paint, and then you put down a glue or even
like spray paint, guys, like spray paint will come through. Yeah, the adhesive through plasticizer migration will draw that through the material to the surface
right to the surface. I was just on a job I suspect is the same thing. It's got these circles and it's kind of orangish color. And I thought, did they spill iodine? She's like, we don't use iodine. I was like, oh, okay, well, that explains why it's not a puddle look and it's like a circle look. And then I seen some other like designs and it's always in like a circle or something. It was almost like whether it's a flooring guy or someone else, was marking something out like low spots.
That sounds like and sounds like they're marking out the sprinkler heads is what that sounds like with the
something
orange
like
paint.
that.
Circle, yeah, we got a head right there. Circle, got a head right there.
Yeah. So don't do that. Last thing you want is some guy spray paint on your floor working its way through your flooring. Now, again, that was a floating floor, so probably no worry. But Roland just says, yep, it can bleed through a vinyl floor, even if it's a glue down lower mill plank. No, my question is, can it move through an SPC or a floating plank, Roland? Glue down, I know for a fact it can, but let's go to the next. Let's
see this
one. Okay.
Oh.
I've got to do a share here. Let me share this one.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. See, Daniel, this is why we need you, Daniel. Where you at, bro?
Yeah.
No idea.
Well, at least she admits she's
after
never
a lot of research
installed
and
it.
multiple YouTube videos, we're gonna try this. What I did first was vacuum all of the leftover debris from the carpet, and I had no idea if I wanted the floors to go horizontal or vertical. But thank God I chose horizontal. I don't know. I just think it looks better. Everything that I have here, I ordered off of Amazon. What's great about these is they're peel and stick, so it makes everything 10 times easier. And supposedly they're waterproof and scratch-proof. I started with the closet first, and what I did was work in sections. I had to cut some strips in order for it to fit. Lined everything up as perfectly as I could, so that way the lines in the floor were straight and even. There is a little gap between the baseboard and the floor itself. There was carpet in here. It doesn't look terrible, but a lot of stuff gets underneath there, so I don't know. After I was done, I swept everything, moved her dresser back. This is how it looked before I put in the flooring, and this is how it looks now. I think this looks amazing, and I love it. Don't be mad at me because I only did the closet. I'm a mom of two, okay? So come back for part 3 to see the results.
And come back for part 4 to see the failure.
Okay, dude. Kudos to her for
trying.
For setting that up. That she is not a she'd never done floors before, but
couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell.
Look pro to me. So Roland's answer is no, it will not move through a floating floor. So there's your answer. I suspected as such, although maybe without completely crapping on that previous chick. And hey, these videos get 9 million times the amount of views our podcast gets. So
I know,
dude, whatever. Maybe making a ton of mistakes and doing something fun. Hey, same thing. Look, she looked like she had a smile on her face. The job did look better, at least for the time being.
She was
Then-
living her best life
yeah,
doing
then
that.
that carpet,
I-
like Jorge
I-
said, an E for effort.
man.
Hey,
Okay, so
I
she did good by putting forth effort, and her cuts did look pretty good against that trim. She didn't put any shoe down. So there's a couple
with
good things there.
scissors too, dude. She was using scissors. Come on, you guys. You know,
Because her hands
say
probably
what
got
you
tired
want.
from using a utility knife. I don't know. She did
Hey,
use a square, right? Did I see a square there?
I don't know,
Maybe
but
I
I'll
didn't.
tell
I
you,
don't know.
it may be better that you use a pair of scissors if you've never laid flooring. You don't want to end up cutting your finger off.
Yeah. I don't know
And
how long the scissors are gonna last, but I guess when they go dull from cutting like this, you can always just turn them and just scribe on it and snap, I guess.
whatever works. Jorge
Um,
says that I feel that women actually do more DIY stuff than guys, and since they're always right, this is a good installation. Oh, I agree. That was pretty funny, though. I'll tell you, you might want to prime, stagger your joints, and
Put a better subfloor down for one. That's
yeah. I mean, what happens for any DIYers that may be watching, which I doubt, but if you watch this on YouTube and run across it, because we'll hashtag this TikTok maybe, what happens is she at least vacuumed. I'll give her that. You get the
Yes.
dirt out from in the
crevices,
the
board,
crevices
the waffle.
and such. So
yeah.
if she would have primed and staggered her joints, I forgive the scissors. I think you use what you can, and kudos to her for getting it done. Like Jorge said, a lot of guys won't even touch stuff, and so if the women are in there actually giving it a shot, hey.
Yeah, he's got a point there. For anyone out there who is listening and thinking about it, though, if you read the instructions that come along with that, there's a lot of things that she didn't do that are like right on that piece of paper that's inside in between all of that plank. And that's going to make or break that. Like the stuff already, the peel and stick, not my cup of tea. I would always veer away from that personally.
But I mean, you can say it straight. Peel and stick is not, I mean, it is a DIY product because they want to take the trowel and the adhesive out of the issue. Anybody can paint, right. So you paint on a primer, peel and stick it down.
There are some commercial grade peel and stick, though, where the system is very aggressive as long as you're following that system correctly. I will say that. And those are okay.
Yeah, well, peel and stick vinyls, I'm not a fan of. I don't care. I don't care if it's commercial or not. Now, there are some peel and stick carpets that I know that you'd lose your mind, but that like Collins and Aikman is now Tandis, they're peel and stick. I mean, it works. You use seam weld, but Jorge said it's monolithic, bro. It was monolithic. Well, kudos to her for giving it a shot. Let's see if we can find some.
I bet you she could become a really good weekend warrior if you give her just a little bit of time, a little bit of your time and education. I bet you that she'll get better quick.
You know what? She checked 2 boxes.
Yeah.
She was happy doing it, and she put in the effort.
Yep.
So, check 2 of my boxes that I'd love my guys to do. Let's check this next one out. This. He seems so happy, man. I love these.
It's just that looked pretty dangerous.
Look, he didn't have to use a square. Okay, what's going on here?
Oh, oh, is that what those things are for?
That's he is so happy.
Oh,
Put a little transition in.
I mean, on a wood floor.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's a guy, dude. You know, I'm not gonna say he did. I'm not gonna say you were happy, so it's acceptable. um, so same issues as the other one, right? No primer, no nothing. The freehand thing, and that's
He used a utility knife though.
he did, you know, and he used one of the foldable ones with the quick detach blade.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Hey, here's
some
my
of those are made
question.
pretty well. But
Two things. What was the marks on the second run?
the marks, I must have missed that one. I
He
think I
was
was. I
marking
think
something and he marked down the second one. And
um,
then I wasn't real sure why that was
I
done. But you know, if you have a full plank in the back of that closet, just start off with a 9-incher and then take
yeah,
a new piece, cut it, and then start running your random.
yeah,
Random floors for all the kids out there are better looking floors, which means each row, whatever you cut off, you start with, and then run to the next one as long as it's not within
the dead
your
zone.
seams do not line up within the width of the plank. So if you got a 7-inch plank, you want your butt joints at least 7 inches apart.
Not all
And
7 inches apart, though. You got to create the
not
random.
all, just none
Otherwise, you get the
closer.
stair steps. Yeah.
Yeah, then
Um,
you run that row, and you know you can do it random other ways, but random is a good way to save materials. And Rollins said he thinks she is a one hammer installer. One scissor. She's
yeah,
a
she's a
one
one
scissor.
scissor. There you go.
Hey, this another another happy installer right there. So there's a checkbox for that guy for being so happy. I would say you can undercut your door jambs with a multi-tool
Yep.
and get
Jam
a
saw,
better
multi
looking.
tool.
Yeah. Uh, for the DIYers, use a jam saw, or don't use a jam saw. Use a multi-tool, please.
Yeah, that's all we
Um,
use now. We have the big jam saws, the powerful ones. We have the old school jam saw where the blade, you know, you can flip
you
it
just
left
gotta.
and right
They're
hand.
dangerous. They're
It,
dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
yes, they are.
Or
They'll
if you
take
catch
your
a 16 penny nail as you're trying to undercut your jam. So, you know, no harm, no foul with an oscillating tool, like a multi-tool.
yeah.
Use that, set a piece of scrap material, run your multi-tool on top of it to cut your jam, and it works in tight corners like that closet,
Yep.
and chip out the little pieces. Your material slide right in. You can just make a little L cut. You will never see it. It'll be up under the jam. It'll look like the jam was built on top of your flooring.
There you go. I will say that one of the tricks that we've learned over time is once you get the initial cut and you take your piece out, slide your template piece under there or your saver piece under there, and then use the oscillating tool again to get that, because sometimes it does push it down on an angle a little bit. Square it up nice with your piece, and then you can slide your cut piece in there really super easy.
Yeah. So there's some DIY tips for the gentleman. And then I don't know what kind of transition that was, but he was very happy gluing that sucker down. I wonder why he didn't start right off of that. It looked like it was probably you know, the same thickness, it appeared. So
I don't know. And I know that they do make tracks that you secure to the floor, especially over wood, that you can snap that transition right into. That makes life a lot easier. You can put the track in first and build off the track. I am noticing that they're working off of it. They're working off of it, like they're working away from themselves. in every
Yeah.
video so far.
So far they're not you know, of course we all may be doing that if the standards change on sheet on vinyl plank to a semi or a full wet set.
Mhm. Or
We all
working
might
on
be
boards or
working off of
planks.
it. Mhm.
Yeah,
Working on disbursement boards or, working off the material.
pushing.
Jorge says when peeps do our DIY, I feel that at the end of the day, they feel happy they did their own install, but they are also willing to accept failure and live with it. I think for the most part, you're probably right. Uh, I don't know about the failure. They're gonna accept it more than if we go install it and they have a failure for sure. But it's pretty. I think it's pretty satisfying. Most of these jobs we're looking at, we can laugh all we want. The fact is, the room does look better with new vinyl
Yeah, what
than it does with the old rusty carpet, messed up floor. I would say just about every DIY is vinyl plank. I have yet to find a DIY doing sheet vinyl. Just,
yeah, I'd like to see that. I
just,
would
just
really.
I'm hoping that we run across one, uh, but we'll
No,
see.
look at there's a cripple guy right there, Mr. Jeremy Glover. What's up, Jeremy? Made a little comment right there. Look at that.
Jeremy, I'm not a fan of what's he say here? What do you
Not a
say?
fan of the plastic track.
I'm not a fan of the plastic trash system. I like the screw down ones. Fair
I
enough.
don't know.
Fair
Yeah,
enough. I'm glad you're alive, Jeremy. I heard you took a softball to the dome, dude.
right to the cheekbone. You know what, though? I will say that through all the trauma he's had, it still hasn't shut him up. That's a talent. That's a talent he's got there.
That's the determination. That's check mark 3. We watch all these videos and all the comments, and we might have an installer. All
Yeah.
right, let's check out this next video.
I'll try to keep the facial expressions to a minimal this time.
Well, that's part of the fun. Okay, I'm gonna
using a pry bar. Installed new flooring in our daughter's room for under 180 bucks. First, we ripped out all the old slime-covered carpet and the tack strips using a pry bar and a hammer. And the builders had also put the tacking on top of the threshold, so I had to cut the vinyl back straight and scraped all the glue, residual paint, and texture that was left over on the concrete. I used this flexible floor patch from DAP to fill in all the nail holes from the tack strips. It dries fast, and then you can just scrape it to make sure that it's nice and level. And to prep the floors, I mopped it really, really good. And then I used a self-stick tile primer, which is a latex coating that you apply to the concrete to make sure the tiles stick firmly. Then I found the center of the room and laid a chalk line down so that I could start laying my tile out from the center of the room from that line. We have vinyl flooring throughout our house and love the durability, but $1 a square foot for this peel and stick, we just couldn't pass that up. And the install was so easy, Emily actually did most of it. So make sure you're following us for the final room reveal. You're not going to want to miss it.
All right.
So I will say that dude did a lot of things right. Might not have finished them to the level of acceptance that we'd like to see, but man, he was definitely a lot closer.
Yeah, well, he cleaned up cleaned the floor. He freaking mopped it, got it all clean, patched his holes. I mean, he used DAP, but I mean, he patched the holes, scraped it so that it was level with the concrete, scraped up the glue and I mean, he did some floor
of the
prep.
paint. Yeah. I mean,
did some floor prep.
Can't knock the guy on that. The primer, right? Is that I'm pretty sure that's what that was. He encapsulated the floor.
Yeah.
So that way
I'll give him one tip. You can take your center line and transfer it over to your doorway so you don't have to walk and contaminate all your primer. And then you can just lay right out of your hallway doorway right into the room and not have to have so much traffic on your primer, but that's all right, man. I'll give him on a DIY level. I need to find out how I can do this now because I think I just screwed something up on my. Oh, I can still do it. Okay, but on a DIY level, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, he did pretty good, man. And I will say, hopefully, he waited for the floor to dry after he mopped it. Hopefully, he did. So, I would say DIYers, if you're gonna introduce moisture into the concrete like that, you have to wait for that to disappear before you do anything else, especially that primer. Yeah.
Yep. I think I may have found something that we can play with some sheet vinyl. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're on right now. So these are all my first time seeing it. So if this is your first time seeing all this too, then yeah.
Yeah, I just loaded like 3 or 4
pages.
and then,
Okay.
Yeah, and then most of them I haven't seen before. So, oops. I wonder why that's doing that. Let me see here. Oh, I know why. They got better music than what I got going too. Their music is on par with our start music. All right, let's watch another one.
You guys got some DIYs. Put them on the comments too. We like a link to a video.
All right, this says shout out to my roomie and the Lowe's people. I don't know what this means.
Now I'm wondering if you lost a straw. Ooh, baby, if I am signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
Ooh,
Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, if I am signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. If I am, baby.
Ooh, I can see that.
Yikes.
Signed, bubbled, delivered.
Yikes. Well, there is a sheet vinyl install. Okay.
All right.
There's a lot to unpack there, but
there is.
I want to point out that it was another female doing it. What's up, dudes? Where's all your DIY stuff? But and she seemed really happy. She is going to be replacing that floor pretty soon with all those bubbles.
She's gonna get a nice rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm confused though. Was she full spread? Was she full spreading? Was she full spreading or perimeter?
It looked like it started as perimeter and then ended. That last bit was maybe full spread where all the bubbles were. So give her some feedback. I mean, what could she have done
next time, do all the prep and all the cleaning before you put your vinyl down. I would say that looked like that didn't happen, that she was like cleaning and gluing as she went.
How important is it to make sure you roll the floor with some weight?
That
one hand in that 3
full extension, one hand.
Yeah, like get down on that thing and push those, so all DIYers out there, if you're using adhesive, like the purpose of it is not just to have the pleasure of spreading it. The truth is you must get the adhesive and the floor to make good contact at the right time.
Yeah.
Your body will tell you that time. Maybe it's a semi-wet set or a full PSA or pressure sensitive adhesive. Either way, you're trying to get that floor bonded with the adhesive at the right timing.
Yeah.
It almost looked like some type of underlayment. That was a weird.
Yeah, it did too. Did it like they put a bunch of dependable or something or DAP in the joints every 2 feet? I don't know, maybe.
They were little squares of.
So I've ran into that in a couple places where they built the home and say we're going to an upper level, like say they're converting an attic or something like that, and you can't get a full board up there. So I've been to places where they've had to You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like those
that is
you're like taking it in your SUV and you ain't got room for a 4x8 sheet, and so it's all
or
ripped into smaller
yeah,
pieces or something.
or the path to the room isn't big enough to make a turn with a long sheet. I mean, I've been to some pretty weird installs. You know, like they used to make drywall back in the day. Drywall used to be 2 foot 2 foot strips, right? And that's how you used to put it up. Um,
Huh.
but now they got
All
a lot
right.
smaller.
Well, get what else? I mean, rolling the floor was probably the reason.
So
If she didn't, depending on the flashing or cure time of the of the product, maybe it wasn't a full PSA and it should have went in somewhat wet, being
yeah,
a porous
that was
substrate.
that was a full PSA, brother. That could I there was
So you could save it. Heat
you
that
could.
heat those seams up or heat those bubbles up. You might be able to save it a little bit. Make it look a little better anyway.
Yep. And I would say the easiest way for me to explain here, let me see if I can get this. I'll just do it with a piece of paper. A vinyl, if you're rolling it and you're setting it down, make sure that you're rolling it into place
And
right?
not flopping it.
Yeah, don't pick it up and flop it. That's how she got those wrinkles in there. Because if it is a PSA, she flopped it in and it touched right there. That bubble is going to be there.
Wrapped
You
it.
could try to massage it out, but I would say rolling it into place like that is a lot better than flopping it. Sometimes you have to flop it. Make sure you have help.
Yes.
It's
But
very strategic and
laying it in, as they say, as opposed to flopping it, is you're not putting carpet in. So
yeah.
all right, well that was fun. She didn't seem like she was having as good a time, I must say, and I don't blame her. I don't know what these are gonna bring up, dude. So whatever happens.
She tried it though, right? Like sheet vinyl like that, you have one shot, one opportunity.
Are we gonna start rapping? Are we going to Eminem right now?
Ooh, Eminem's good.
So this guy,
Look at that.
he does a bunch of stuff. So he was one that this was the one I was going to show a few of that was interesting. Was this one right here?
Which one? Am I looking at the one that's playing?
Oh shit. Did I lose us?
No, can you I'm here.
Oh, I shared the wrong screen. That's the problem.
Oh.
Let me do this. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go find it and then I'll fix it.
So through the technical difficulties, thank you for sticking with us here, guys, as we learn how to do screen share.
We are deficient today.
Yeah.
Okay, I know which one it is, I think. Try this again. Yeah, now.
What am I doing? Why am I doing it like this? Ah! Look at that. Perfection. That looks legit. All right. Woo! Good job, Lauren. Woo! Good job, Lauren.
We're putting
laminate.
Oh, please.
Yeah, putting the laminate on a ceiling and then nailing it. It looked like she was holding it up for some glue too. That looks like a disaster to me.
Yeah, I mean, if it's actual laminate, I mean, I guess if she treats it like real wood and trim and gives that room for expansion, puts up some nice crown or something like that, it'll work. But I sense it's going to fall down and hit somebody in the head.
We had a job where we put engineered hardwood on a ceiling and full glue nail assist, but we made sure that we were actually going with the metal studs, and so we had them put every 2 feet,
A furring strip.
maybe it was 18 inches, a wood fur strip across
Okay.
so that we had something to nail assist into
Yeah.
to hold it up while the glue was drying, so we didn't this was 15 feet in the air. You're trying, I mean, how are you going to hold it until the adhesive dries? So it had to be a staple assist. Actually, it was 7/16, I think, engineered on a ceiling. So that's the closest I've ever done to that.
We've installed some LVT or plank right on the walls too, right? But some manufacturers do have it listed on there that it can be used for a vertical installation. If it doesn't say that, chances are they just don't have the right adhesive for that application. I guess that's where the brad nailer comes in.
She was shooting right through the face, but hey, in her defense, who in the heck's going to see that from the ground if you're using a brad nailer? So, I don't know.
So
you can always feel it too. I mean,
yeah,
you're on the
but
floor
it's
looking up the ceiling.
it's a laminate, bro. You put a
Bro, it
brad
looked
nailer
good when it
there,
was done. It looked
and
good.
if she's not shooting into the right backer board or anything structural, say she's
Well,
shooting
that's
right
why
into the drywall, that brad nail is not doing anything.
that's why I say that looks like a disaster waiting to happen.
It's gonna hit
'Cause,
somebody in the head.
like, that stuff is, I mean, that's a lot of weight up on the ceiling. It looked like it was staying at the end of the video. I would love her to
But she is
shout
happy though.
out.
She is happy.
I'd love her to
Guys,
shout out if that actually stayed.
these women are absolutely happy doing this work.
Yes.
And
Well,
maybe
here we only got 8 minutes left on this. We watched a few videos and got to have some fun, but truth is, man, kudos to everybody out there trying to do, put down a new floor, make your house look a little nicer. Kudos for jumping in and just giving it a shot. I would say to be careful. That ceiling looks dangerous. I'm just being honest. Like, if that glue, those brad nails are not going to, like you were alluding to, they're not going to stay. They're going to work their way out of sheetrock. Now, if she had the mindfulness to make sure she was hitting studs, all right.
a little bit different. I mean, you could also maybe angle them different ways every shot to pinch them in there, create that tension. But that's not
through laminate. At least it said laminate. It could have been anything, but I don't know that you're going to get a brad nail through laminate actually. So it's probably more like a click together vinyl plank on the ceiling. I couldn't tell, but kudos to everybody giving it a shot. The ones out there that do this for a living, you could learn one thing. People are having fun doing this job. You can have fun doing your job. You can enjoy what you do. We don't have to have a negative attitude about doing what we do. There's a saying that says, I don't try to find passion in my work. I bring passion to my work.
Bam.
And right there is the key for all of us. These people, I know it's fun to do stuff you don't do all the time, and you get that satisfaction. That same satisfaction they're getting is why I love flooring. When I'm done with something or I've finished something, that satisfaction of doing it is why I enjoy flooring so much. It's what hooked me from the very beginning. And you can see why people enjoy doing this stuff, and we can too, because we get paid for it on top of that. So enjoy what you do, put a smile on, bring your passion to work with you. And at the end of the day, all the DIYers out there, I think that Jorge's right. Like, they love the satisfaction of doing something for themselves, and more power to them. If you do need professionals, reach out to one of your, a professional to do your floor, and no better way to know if they're a professional or not, and except with the Go Career Hammer rating, which can tell you whether or not they are actually a qualified installer. We are growing leaps and bounds the network But some interesting stats out there. Some of these DIYers might have as high a hammer ratings as some of the people on the network. It's incredibly insightful to take a sample that size and see how low trained we really are. I don't think we really understand the level of deficiency in trainings and proper education in flooring.
Right.
And because we do it as a career and we get paid for it, we got to make sure we're doing it right. So make sure to reach out to CFI, AFT, NTCA, CTEF, the organizations out there. You can go to Go Careers training page and find a bunch of these organizations and get your training, get your hammer rating up, bruh.
Yeah.
And
don't let the DIYers out hammer you.
Yeah, no doubt. Although scissors may be a deduction. And then shout out to Jumpstart, which is the placement tool for the industry. If any installer on here, if you guys are installers, this week we're going live with Jumpstart, and Jumpstart is at gocarrera.com/Jumpstart. You'll be able to schedule interviews and hire your next great helper, hopefully the industry's next great installer. These guys and gals have been through some initial industry training, whether it be a 10-week, 5-week type course. A lot of it's hands-on. CFI runs a lot of it. So I know AFT does some. NTCA, we're reaching out to them to get some of their graduates through the NTCA University. See if we can get some of these folks in the ceramic tile world on Jumpstart as well. Right now, it's predominantly soft goods, and you can hire somebody who's saying, hey, I want to be in flooring. So we are asking you to participate with Jumpstart. I don't ask a lot of things. I'm asking you to help the industry get the new recruits placed. And you can do so by going to gocarrera.com/Jumpstart. So I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna see if we can get some people. I mean, like, where else? Why not? Where else would you hire from? We're so used to in our industry hiring from working some customers. Not much, Roland. Some of the same. Hey, we did watch laminate get put on a ceiling. But Jumpstart is a replacement for the way we've always done it. We've always looked at our nephews and our sons and our grandsons to get into the industry. We've skipped a few generations of that, and the industry's filling it. We're short manpower now. It's going to get worse. I know we keep saying that, but we've been running the huddle for going on 2 years now. And the fact is that we can see the problem getting worse. It's a slow burn. Each year people are retiring and we're not replacing them. So what we're trying to do with Jumpstart is put new recruits out in front of installers, new recruits out in front of flooring companies, and have you hire them. They went through some level of training. They're saying, I want to be in flooring. Let's give them a shot. Let's get them recruited, trained, and then work really hard to advance their skills. That's how we save this industry, in my opinion.
Yep, you got to get outside that comfort zone, right? And I think we're feeling that heat right now too, because that circle you said that we're used to staying in. That circle can only go so far; it only lasts so long, and need to expand our horizons over here as well.
We all do. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody. I created Jumpstart. A lot of what Go Careers created has been because of my own problems. But Jumpstart it's clear to me the number one problem with the industry, this industry labor issue, the singular, biggest gap is placement.
Yeah.
I mean, where do the new FCEF graduates go to? Where do people that go through the 5-week initial, introduction to flooring at CFI, where do they go? Where are they going? And if we're going to place them, we have to have a mechanism to place them, help them be placed with installers, with other subcontractors, because they install the most of our flooring. Most
Yeah.
retailers don't hire employees, and those who do have a pretty small staff of employees and still supplement with subcontractors. So if you're a sub out there, that later on this week, you can check back anytime. Get on gocareer.com/jumpstart. Let's say Monday of next week, and get on there, schedule an interview, and let's get these folks hired.
Yep. Everybody needs a place to go, right? And this is probably one of the first times we've ever had a pool that we can look into and say, all right, who's in my area, who's hungry, who's interested,
who's willing to relocate.
Yeah.
For a good job. You know, I mean, look, if you're going the Craigslist way and you're siphoning through 30 applications of line cooks and people who have never touched flooring and never shown any interest, but they just want out of what they are doing now, that's one way to hire. Like, find people who don't want to be in the situation they're in anymore. I would rather hire from people who are raising their hand saying, I want to be in this industry. The FCEF, and I know I keep naming off the acronym companies, but CFI, AF, all of them are putting in work to recruit and train. We just need to step up and get them placed. Put them with people who will, you know what I'm saying? If you get a new helper, it's been doing, went through a 10-week training course, and you can move him along, that is no different than the way you do with your niece or nephew. Or if you're looking for a decent helper on Craigslist, which if you get on Facebook and read the comments, there's nobody happy with that. Like, it's this major problem. So get on gocareer.com/jumpstart and support the industry. It's our effort. It's very, very cheap. It's $99 for the entire year. Hire, schedule interviews. $99 is less than the sugar in your coffee, let alone the coffee. It's not a coffee a day, it's the sugar in your coffee a day.
There you go.
And you support the industry. We'll put your logo on our website. We have manufacturers who are supporting us as well. And what we're really looking at doing is opening the floodgates of the new recruits to have them have jobs, have them have a place where they feel like they're going to get jobs. So some of them have been trained by Jonathan Varden, some of them by Dwayne Pruitt, some of them by other people. But the fact is, there's plenty of quality trainers out there that are training. I know Dave Garden does a lot of the FCEF. I mean, you're talking about juggernauts. Dave Garden, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's awesome.
For only 27 cents a day, you too can support the flooring industry.
Yeah, 27 cents a day. I mean, it's cheap, dude. Is that even the right amount? I mean, like $99.
I just did it.
99 divided by 365.
It is.
You know,
just over 27 cents, man. So round up. For only 28 cents a day, you could help a flooring installer who wants to create a career.
Yeah, and that's the truth. These are you going to have some, you know, people who don't work out? Of course, we're all going to have them. But the key that we're trying to get started, the momentum we want to have happen, is people are getting placed, and maybe we can give feedback to the training community, the training entities, that, hey, we need to add you need to add a professionalism piece to your training, because your placements are not staying very long, or the people hiring them are saying they're underqualified even as a helper or something like that. Any of the feedback gets fed back to the entity that can actually make the change. So
it'll create the metrics for them to hone their system to yield a better outcome. I mean, that's
couldn't have said it better myself. All right, brother. Well, we are at that point.
Yes, we are.
The sign off. Well, it was a pleasure. That was pretty fun. I I know we walked the line of like crapping on people, but I also just kind of talking about regular flooring topics. And the fact is, the number one lesson I I can delve out of all that is how happy everybody was to do it and the satisfaction they get from installing great floors. So, or installing floors. I'll leave the great off there for my pros out there, but you guys too can be just happy. And I know that this business can be tough, but that's the part we get paid for, is the tough part. Let's put a smile on as we're doing it and bring our passion with us.
There you go.
We'll see you next week, my brother. Thanks for
Thank you, everyone.
your time. Thank you to the audience and the commenters. I know we didn't get to all the commenters, but appreciate your participation, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.